Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day. Happy Friday. Congratulate yourself because you have made it through another week. So today's video is going to be a little bit different than my normal What's for Dinners. I wanted to put together a video for you guys showcasing all of my favorite recipes. Not all my favorite, some of my favorite recipes from my past What's for Dinner videos. So y'all are going to see my old house. You're going to see my blonde hair. We're going to have some voiceovers. We're going to have some talk throughs. We have a little bit of everything in this video, but I thought this would be so much fun to do just for people who are new here, who haven't seen some old stuff I've made and things like that. So also just to show you guys what are some of my favorite things to eat. How fun is that? So anyways, let's hop into today's video. If you're new, I would love if you would join my YouTube family. All you have to do is hit that red subscribe button and you will be part of Missy's YouTube family. And we would love to have you here. We have so much fun. So anyways, let's hop into today's best of What's for Dinner. So the first recipe is going to be a brown sugar and pineapple ham. This is so delicious and so simple. So all you're going to need is some pineapple tiblets, some brown sugar, and a ham, and also your crock pot liners. I'm obsessed with these things. If you've never used crock pot liners before, you are so missing out. The cleanup of this is so easy. So if you're a busy working mom like me, these are really a lifesaver. So I'm just going to prep my crock pot and stick my liner in there. I'm going to take half the bag of brown sugar and I'm going to put it into the bottom of the crock pot, and then I will place my ham on top of that. And then once I have my ham in there, I am just going to add the rest of that brown sugar on top of the ham. And then I will just add the can of pineapples on top of that. So I cook this on high for 2 hours. So when I get home from work, I get all this in there, get it on for 2 hours, and do things that I need to do around the house. And then it is done. So that is going to be our first dinner. And I wanted to show you guys this clip of the ham after it's done inside the crock pot. Oh my gosh, it just looks so good. And it makes your house smell delicious as well. So all I did was I served this with some hash brown casserole, which if you haven't seen my latest breakfast cook and clean with me, I will link it, and the recipe for that is in there as well. So on the following night, we had chicken Alfredo. This is so easy. You just need 2 cups of heavy cream, a triangle of Parmesan cheese, some garlic powder, a stick of butter, the Zatarain's blackened chicken, or not blackened chicken, it's blackened seasoning, your fettuccine noodles, and I use chicken tenderloins. So to start off, we are just going to be getting our water ready for our noodles and getting that to boil. And then now I'm just going to take the chicken tenderloins and I'm going to just season them with the Zatarain's seasoning, and then I will just stick my chicken into the frying pan and cook it until it is complete. And then once I get my first layer of chicken in there, then usually it is oh my goodness, you guys, I can't talk today. Usually the water is done boiling, so then I go ahead and I stick my noodles in then. So while all of that is cooking, I am just going to grate up my cheese. You can buy this already grated if you want to, but I just feel like it tastes better whenever you grate it yourself. I know that may be totally weird, but it's totally fine if you buy it already done. So then to get started on the Alfredo sauce, this is so easy and it's so good. So you just take your stick of butter and you melt that into your saucepan. Then you're going to take a teaspoon of garlic powder and you're going to stir it into the butter. And then once that's all nice and mixed together, you take your 2 cups of heavy cream and pour it into the pan. And then you just stir that and put it on medium heat. And then when it comes up to a sizzle, you are going to then add all of that cheese and then just stir it and cook it until that cheese is all melted. And then you will have your very own homemade Alfredo sauce. And everyone will think it came from a restaurant and you made it at home. So super simple. And we just served this with some breadsticks, and we did have a side salad as well that I forgot to show you guys, so I'm sorry about that. But that is what we had for dinner, and like I said, it's so good. So for the first night for dinner, we made nachos. You guys, these nachos are so good, and it's so easy to make, and it's perfect for like football games, basketball games, if you're doing like Super Bowl party or whatever. I know the Super Bowl is today, so you could always like go run out and get everything if you really wanted to. So anyways, first thing I'm going to do is brown 2 pounds of hamburger meat, and then I use the Old El Paso taco seasoning, and a subscriber taught me this, and it has been life-changing. So I do not drain the grease from my meat anymore. I use the grease to like soak up that like seasoning. You know what I'm saying? So it has been life-changing. It tastes so much better. It gives that taco seasoning such good flavor in the meat. I just love it. I give you what you want, girl, I'll take you where you go blind. Okay, so I also make my own queso at home. So what I do is I take half and half, and I use half of the container, and then I take 16 slices of cheese, the white American Great Value cheese, and I just say 16 slices because that's how I buy it, is in the slice, so I use like the whole thing. So anyways, I use all of the cheese in that, and then I will add a small can of the chopped green chilies, and then I will add about a teaspoon to half of a tablespoon. I don't know. You guys can be the own judge of how much cumin you use. I mean, you'll know how much to use when you look at your food. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a measurer, and then here we go. I decided to take the lid off. What an idiot. But it was totally fine because it was someone was on top, and I just scooped some of it out. Then I dropped the lid in it. I mean, that was great as well. Like, I'm telling you guys, it was just fail after fail. So anyways, that's all you do. Turn it on medium heat and continuously stir it until it's all melted, and it is delicious. So this is how our nachos turned out. They were so good, you guys. I'm serious. I topped mine with some guacamole, some salsa, some shredded cheese, some black olives. Do whatever your little heart desires. It is just so delicious. Tonight we are having breakfast for dinner, and I wanted to show you guys how I make my French toast casserole. It is so good. It's so good. And I wouldn't really call it a casserole. I would just call it a French toast bake. So that's what we'll call it. So you're gonna need 2 cups of milk. You're gonna need 8 eggs, about 2 teaspoons of vanilla, a teaspoon of cinnamon. For your powdered sugar, you're gonna need just a couple of teaspoons or tablespoons of that. And then for your brown sugar, you're gonna need 2/3 cup of brown sugar. Of course, I'll leave everything down below, and then just some strawberries and blueberries or the fruit of your choice. And then I have a casserole dish here that I have just sprayed. And so let's get started. Oh, and some bread, of course. You gotta have bread for French toast, duh. So let's get started. Okay, so I didn't realize I wasn't recording, and I was like talking to you guys the entire time. But you're just gonna take your bread and you're just gonna shred it up and throw it into your casserole dish. You could cut it up into cubes if you want to, but I have just found that tearing it into little pieces is so much easier. And you just want enough bread to cover the bottom of your casserole dish, and then also you want it to be like 3/4 of the way full, you know, up top right here. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just filling this dish with our bread. Okay, so now that we have our bread in our casserole dish, we are just going to take our 2 cups of milk, and then we're gonna start placing our eggs. Okay, then you're gonna add your 2 teaspoons of vanilla. You're gonna take your 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. You can use more or less. Lots of people love cinnamon, so they just add more. I add a little bit more because we like cinnamon here. Then you're gonna take your 2/3 cup of brown sugar. And then you're just gonna whisk this all together until it's all nice and mixed. So once you have that all nice and mixed, you are just going to pour this mixture over your bread. Now that our fruit is all washed, I'm going to take some blueberries and I'm just going to sprinkle these on there. Just how much ever you like. You guys know, like I always say, it's your kitchen. You do what you want, what sounds good to you. Now I'm going to slice up some strawberries. Okay, so this is what your casserole should look like, or your French toast bake should look like right now. It's so pretty. This would be really pretty to have on the 4th of July if you're having like a 4th of July brunch. I know it's past 4th of July now, but isn't it so pretty? So now you're just gonna cover it with some aluminum foil and stick it in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours. If you're making this for breakfast, do this the night before and stick it in the refrigerator overnight and it'll be good. If you're going to work, do this in the morning before you head to work and then stick it in the fridge, and then when you get home from work you can bake it. So let's get this in the refrigerator. Okay guys, so this is what the bake looks like when it's all done. Now you're just gonna take some powdered sugar and you're just gonna sprinkle it over the top. Just how much ever you like. And this is what your French toast bake will look like. So good, you guys, so good. All right guys, this is what is for dinner tonight. You just pour some syrup on top. Got some burnt bacon and burnt sausage, just the way I like it. That's right. So this is what's for dinner tonight. Let's eat. So on the next night, we are making smothered pork chops. This is the easiest smothered pork chop recipe ever. I have made it on my channel before, but always use a crock pot liner. I am like obsessed with crock pot liners, you guys. After you're done cooking, you just lift it out and you're done. And I just like wash my crock pot out with soap and water, and it's so easy. Nothing stuck on there, nothing. So anyways, I take a family pack of the thin pork chops, and then I take 2 cans of cream of potato soup, 2 cans of broccoli cheddar soup, and 2 cans of cream of celery soup, and then I put that on low while I'm at work, so then when I get home from work, it's all nice and done.
Baby, you are on my mind. All I think about, and I don't wanna stop. I don't wanna stop. Could you come closer to me? I just can't resist you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. I am stuck in a dream and I can't help what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm breathing when you are with me.
So with this, we just made French style green beans, and then I made homemade mashed potatoes, and then the gravy that's on the pork chops you can put over your mashed potatoes. So I love that. So good.